BryceLikesYellow.
Yo, what up YouTube? It's Bryce. Gonna be doing something I've never done before, and that is a regional report for my regional last Saturday in Des Moines, October 5th. You guys get it. Yeah, just so you guys know, I was playing Constellars. So yeah. And I have a card set out for like every deck I played against for visual aids. So here we go. Round one I played against Small Child playing Utopia deck. I won that 2-0. He thought I was like the greatest player ever though, and I mean he's not wrong about that, but he was happy, so I guess cool. 1-0. And then round two I played against Spellbooks. I was like great already. People think I have a good matchup against this. I guess they must be right because I 2-0'd that and won, so woo. Just a little bit of background. I played Constellars at like 2 locals before this regional, and that was it, so didn't have that much knowledge, but they didn't do me too wrong. So I beat the Spellbooks 2-0, and then I was 2-0 overall. Then I played round 3 against Fire Kings. It was a guy named Nathan. He is the judge at my old locals I went to a couple times when I was going to college in Ames. So yeah, I won against that. I 2-0'd him as well. He said he drew pretty bad, and it seemed like he drew pretty bad because he didn't really do anything. So yeah. Plus Dweller. And then, this is kind of a bad representation card, but then round 4, played against Water. I played against Mermail, Atlantean, whatever you want to call it, Water. And some of them side this card, so I'm just going with cards that I had readily available in my binder. But anyway, it was 3 games. It was a good match. His name was Jose, I believe. Forgive me if I'm wrong. He commented on one of my videos too. But yeah, I don't know who won game 1 and 2, but anyway, we were in game 3. So he must have won. I must have won game 1. He won game 2 because I was going. No, he went first in game 3, so he must have won game 1. I won game 2. And then anyway, he set a card, clearly a land, obviously, because it was a set card in that deck. But it could have been this card, I guess, but it wasn't. It was a land, and for some reason maybe I went first, I don't know. Anyway, it was game 3, and I had a monster on board already, and then I summoned a Kaiku, and I could have made a Dweller at that point, and then attacked over it. Would have been the good play, but I didn't do that because I'm bad, and then I ended up losing that match. I didn't think that was why, but then looking back, that would have been a much better play. So yeah, that was my first loss. So then I was 3-1. And then round 5, I played against Spellbooks again. I believe we went to game 3 this time, maybe. But anyway, I won that match. I remember whatever the last game was, I ended up being able to put 56 damage on board when he was at 54. And all he had on the field was like this card or some other face-up card, so I knew he had nothing that could stop me. So yeah, maybe it was the field spell. So yeah, I was 2-0 against Spellbooks, that felt good. Then I was 4-1 in the event overall, and that felt good. In round 6, I played against Heretics. It was kind of a ridiculous match, really. Game 1, I main decked the 1 Max C, and I summoned Thunder King first turn, and then he couldn't do anything. I summoned Thunder King and flipped Vanity's Emptiness, basically. And then he just couldn't do anything, and I couldn't do anything either, because he had whatever the 2000 one is on board, but he wasn't attacking. Or no, I don't even know if he had that, but I was just scared to attack into his back row, because I don't remember what the situation. Basically, I ended up sitting on a Thunder King for like literally 10 turns or something. And then he summoned the 2K guy, and then it was just like, who's gonna do something type thing? Maybe he summoned him early. I don't remember exactly. But it was like, who's gonna do something? And then he finally decided, fuck it. I'm like, he drew like some MSTs, and he like MST'd some cards that I had set because, like, I originally had set like 3, and one of them was the Emptiness. And he MST'd the other 2, so that lost me the Emptiness and the 2 good back row. And the other 2 were a Tanky and a Rhoda that I'd set just to not reveal what I was playing. basically, yet. I ended up maxing him for like 20 cards, but then he still beat me because my back row is just bluffs. And then game 2, he didn't know what I was playing. So I summoned Thunder King again, and he ended up making a large play, and then I dropped Honest because I did flip my back rows at the end of game 1 because he asked what they were, and it was a Tanky and a Rhoda, so he didn't know I was playing Constellars, he thought I was playing like Fire Fist or something. So he did not expect the Honest, and that Honest won me that game. And then we went on to game 3, and I opened pretty well, I believe. I don't know. But long story short, I'm pretty sure Honest won me that game as well. But what ended up happening, the last play was like he had a Strike Bouncer on board, I had a Pilates on board, and I ended up making a Starliege Paladynamo, and he was at 2100. So I attempted to Pilates, he had to negate, obviously, even though it didn't really matter. And then I just dynamoed into 0, attack with Pilates for a game. So that was game. That was some guy named like Kevin. I'd seen him before, like ever since I started going to regionals. I believe he's maybe from Omaha. Yeah. And then round 7, I played against Evil Swarm. It was a good match, I guess. I mean, I won 2-0, but he didn't play bad at all. I just drew what I needed when I needed it, and ended up getting, he had like Dad and Ophion on board, and I was able to make a pretty big play. I made like a Volcasaurus. He was at like 3150 game 2, and I made a Volcasaurus, destroyed his Ophion. Or not his Ophion. I made a Volcasaurus, destroyed his Dad for 28, overlaid for like whatever broke card, Gaia Charger, and then attacked over the Ophion, and I had another monster on board to finish it off. Or no, I didn't. I think I might have made Cowboy. No, I made Cowboy game 1 against him. So it was just like very close, like broken extra deck mechanics that won me both of those games, but they were very good. And his name was Skylar, I remember, and he was also from Omaha, I believe. But yeah, round 8 came around, and this is when I started doing bad, because I was 6-1, right? So I gotta win one of the next 2, and I get my invite, right? So then I play Spellbooks again, round 8, and I just get completely slaughtered, like bad. Like, I lose game 1 pretty bad. I side in like 9 cards, and then I lose game 2 really bad. But I'm not that upset because I still have another round, and I didn't expect to top the event. I didn't expect to top 8. Wasn't even going for that. I just wanted my invite, really. And then we go to the next round, and I don't have a card readily available for this one, but I can get one. Give me a sec. I played against 3, 4 axis, whatever, Fire Fist, and I got slaughtered again, pretty much. I had never played against the deck on DN or in real life, but I feel like he drew really well because he kept summoning Bear, basically. And then I don't have a real side for that deck. And yeah, I just got 2-0'd. So my last 2 matches, like he had a Bear, and I dealt with it game 2, and then he had another Bear. It's like, great. What do I do to that? So yeah, I lost to that pretty bad, and so I ended up X3, and I got 44th place, top 32 got their invite or whatever. So some X3s, there was 275 players, so like 3 or 4 X3s got their invite, and none of them were me. And the guy last round, basically I got the only time I got 2-0'd was my last 2 rounds, and I just felt really down and awful at that point. Like, oh, I was so close. And I've never topped before, if you guys don't know. And I mean, by top, I even mean just like got my invite before. So I guess I'm just not good enough. Like, I got close. I guess starting 6-1 isn't good enough insurance. You gotta start 7-1. So I'll just have to do better next time. It sucks because there's pretty much only go to the regionals that are here, and I think that really hurts us on a competitive level because we just don't have the experience of that higher level play as much. Like, my friend Mitchell and I both lost on the bubble at the end. If either of us would have won our last round, we would have topped, and he got a tie, which really sucks. like, because he felt like the guy was stalling too, and like a judge even told the guy to play faster, but by the time he told him to play faster, it was in time, and that sucks. That really sucks, because he thinks he could have beat him, whatever. But I didn't play a single Dragons this entire regionals, guys, so maybe that's why I did so well. But I sided cards for them, and yeah, Mitchell didn't play a single Dragon until the last round. My friend Jacob technically did better than me as far as placement in Swiss, but we all ended up X3 basically. Well, Mitchell ended up X2 and 2 ties, I think, or something like that. Maybe it was X1 and 2 ties. Bottom line, if you add up the points, he had less, but if he would have won the last round, he would have had more points than all of the X3s. So he would have then topped. But, or not topped, you know what I mean, got his invite. Yeah, so that's my regional report, I guess. If you guys want to see the deck profile, I'm going to probably do it right after this. If you guys want a deck profile of how to get not your invite, be bad at Yu-Gi-Oh! And go X3 with Constellars, that'll be up after this. So thanks for watching, guys, if anyone was even interested in this.